with the list, it's the people that are actually making the decisions, not ESPN here. This is not an opinion list. This is a actual rankings of the execs, coaches, and scouts in the league, which could tell you why they're so bad at drafting quarterbacks. That's possible.
That is possible.
That's on the table. But obviously, you've got some no-brainers at the top here: Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
I think in some order, that is the no-brainer top 4.
I don't like the people who try to get in the nitty-gritty of some of those too, because really, no matter what 4 you pick there, it's whatever flavor you want, right? Like if you want to go with the championship value, I think you could argue Mahomes isn't coming off his greatest year ever.
Oh, he's definitely not.
Really not much of an argument. You could make a very solid argument for one being Allen, Burrow, or Lamar, but I don't think Mahomes is ever 4. But that's kind of that's where I would kind of end that, I guess.
My only pushback on the top 4 a little bit, Lamar does have this playoff thing hanging over his head.
That is true.
And the other 3 don't really. Even Allen.
Burrow wasn't really even in the playoffs last season.
No, but he made a Super Bowl.
Okay.
He made a Super Bowl. He's one of the only people that actually beat Mahomes in the AFC part of the playoffs, right? So that's crazy in the first place. Allen, I think, gets a little bit of a pass because he basically only loses to Mahomes. And he's like, well, it's like losing to Jordan in the finals. Like, what are you going to do?
Yep.
You know, if you lose to, like, nobody gives, like, Sean Kemp and Gary Payton that hard of a time for losing to Jordan. Like, it's just, it kind of is what it is. So I think people give Allen a pass there. Lamar's had some playoff duds.
Okay.
Like, Allen has played really great in losses, but I do think that's the top 4. I do think Lamar is clearly 4th in that order.
Okay.
I like Burrow better than almost everybody. Like, I would agree. I love Burrow.
I would agree. Yep.
So if I'm switching things around a little bit, Burrow's my go-to more than Allen, even though Allen's one more.
And if you want to talk about the guy who's probably overcoming the most every single season, it's probably Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah, that's a terribly run franchise.
Yes.
It's an awful, awful poverty franchise.
I mean, from the ground up, everything Joe Burrow has had to overcome to get to the point in which he is now is probably arguably more impactful than the other 3.
So I really don't. Maybe. I don't know. Mahomes is really hard because I don't know how much credit to give Andy Reid, because Andy Reid's really, really good at what he does. And literally every quarterback he's ever had has been productive.
And I think the Chiefs have had a top 10 defense for a couple of Super Bowl runs too. So yeah.
On the front end of it, they weren't as good, but recently they've gotten a lot better, which is why
a Hall of Fame tight end.
Which is why he no longer has any receivers to throw to, because they're like, we got to fix the defense, and then they haven't been able to pay for receivers.
It's Taylor Swift's fault, but that's okay.
I actually don't think that's related, but it might be.
Why doesn't she just donate to the team?
It's an Eras Tour problem. Still can't get around that, the luxury tax, even if you've got the cash.
Could you imagine if the NFL had the luxury tax and they were like, Taylor, can you just pay this so we could get?
What if it was like
we get AJ Brown on the team? If you just pay the luxury tax.
What if it was like politics and you could donate like soft money to a franchise? Like, this doesn't count against the tax.
A super PAC? You just do that.
It's a sports super PAC.
We get into some big issues then.
It's the Eras Tour super PAC.
That would be good.
It only funds extra Chiefs spending. Where it gets interesting for me, though, is 5.
I 100% agree.
So 5 through 10, I'm going to run through them real quick, then we'll get into it. They've got Jayden Daniels at 5.
It's far too high.
Stafford at 6, Herbert at 7, Goff at 8, Jalen Hurts at 9, Baker Mayfield at 10. Jayden Daniels at 5 after 1 year is kind of wild to me. Like, that is aggressive.
Yeah.
Also considering at this time last year, I didn't look up the list last year, but at this time last year, would you have put CJ Stroud on this list based on 1 year?
A lot of people would. I would not have.
I feel like CJ Stroud's rookie year was as good, if not better, than Jayden Daniels' rookie year. I'm going to look up the stats.
Yeah, please do.
I know Jayden had almost 900 yards rushing, so that's
Is it just recency bias off of the top of my head, or why am I thinking that Jayden Daniels was more important and impactful?
Because they made the NFC Championship game.
Fair. Does it also feel that both did win playoff games? CJ Stroud did beat Baltimore in the wild card, I think, their first year, right?
I believe so, yeah. So CJ Stroud, as a rookie, went 64% completion, 23 touchdowns, 5 picks, 4,100 yards, which is pretty good. He does not run much. That wasn't really a factor. He had 233 yards, or as a rookie, he had 167 yards rushing, 233 yards last year. So Daniels gets a ton of credit for the rushing, and I understand that. The passing numbers are essentially, I mean, they're very similar. little bit higher completion, 69% completion for Jayden Daniels, 600 fewer yards, 3,500, 25-9. So a couple more touchdowns, 4 more interceptions. Passing numbers are very, very similar. Jayden Daniels gets the nod on rushing. That's fine. We're talking about 1 year, though.
Yeah.
So I'm having a really hard time putting that guy at 5 on the list. And listen, this is going to shock you, but Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl and he's 9?
And then Matt Stafford has a Super Bowl ring and he's at 6 behind a guy that's done it for 1 year in the league.
And I'm not even, you know me, I'm not a huge Jalen Hurts guy. But if you just want to go statistically and winning and track record.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a quarterback in the NFL in recent history that gets the least amount of credit for their team's success than Jalen Hurts.
Probably.
Because everyone credits the Eagles and their amazing roster, which they have.
They have a great roster.
Their fantastic receiver core, their skill positions, everything else that comes with it. Never credit the coaching, which is fair. But
Sirianni, gross.
But I don't know.
Obviously, he's good at what he does.
But I don't know if we've ever seen a quarterback in the way that Jalen Hurts has been presented, because even from the beginning, Jalen Hurts has always been somewhat presented as if we could get someone else, we might throw them in instead. But he's won a Super Bowl, and he had almost 2 Super Bowl MVP type performances.
He won a Super Bowl. He made another one. Like, I have to eat it. I didn't think he would win a Super Bowl. He was also coming off of a 23-15 touchdown interception year when I said that. Not that gives me an excuse. Like, I was wrong. But this guy rushes almost to the same degree that Jayden Daniels does. He had 630 yards rushing last year and 14 touchdowns. Jayden Daniels has 890 and 6 touchdowns. Now, I know some of those touchdowns are tush-push touchdowns, whatever. But
they still count.
Yeah, they still literally count as
touchdowns.
There
are some quarterbacks that don't do that.
Only 5 interceptions, 18 touchdowns, 2,900 yards, which was his.
He only threw 18 touchdowns?
Yeah, it was his few, but he had 14 rushing, so he's at 32.
Okay, fair, yeah.
Which still puts him at more total touchdowns than Jayden Daniels had, who was at 31, I believe.
Those receivers got to get in the end zone. You got to stop getting tackled at the 1.
Well, they just didn't throw the ball very much. I mean, he had almost 200 fewer passing attempts last year than he had the year before because you get Saquon Barkley in there. Like, you've got they were smart. They used their resources to the best of their ability. And so I don't have a problem with the fewer passing numbers because he was good enough. He was a good enough passer when he needed to be. I just don't know how you put Jayden Daniels at 5th on this list when you've got Jalen Hurts. I would take Stafford over him at this point. Like, Jayden Daniels to me should be in the honorable mention category with CJ Stroud. Like, that seems like an appropriate place for Jayden Daniels after 1 year in the league.
I could see an argument for 10, but everyone that's on this list from 1 to 10, I somewhat agree with. But that's where 10 gets tricky between 10 and going honorable mention.
So 10's Baker Mayfield. This is one I really have a lot of trouble with because I mean, Baker Mayfield's fine. He's a nice quarterback.
Whoa. Are you going to say Baker Mayfield's on a top 10 quarterback?
He was the name I was stunned at. Honestly.
So you'd rather have, so you're going to go CJ Stroud over Baker Mayfield?
I think so, yeah. I think
Jordan Love over Baker Mayfield.
Probably not Jordan Love. I'm not a big Jordan Love guy. Okay. I would take, so the other guys on the also receiving votes, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Tua, and Bo Nix. I think I would take CJ Stroud over Baker Mayfield. I personally would take Brock Purdy over Baker Mayfield.
I agree there.
I'd be tempted to take Dak Prescott over Baker Mayfield.
It's hamstring right off the bone. He pulled a full Rico.
He did pull a full Rico. But if Dak Prescott's healthy, he's had a much more consistent, productive career than Baker Mayfield. That's a fact. Like, Baker Mayfield couldn't find a job for a while.
Baker's won more playoff games.
That's fine. That's a Cowboys problem, not a Dak problem. Cowboys are cursed. For 1 year?
No, don't do this.
For 1 year?
Don't do this. No. You don't believe this.
I might take Aaron Rodgers over Baker Mayfield.
You don't think
for
that.
A year?
No.
In the right context, maybe.
I think DB would rather have Baker Mayfield than Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh, I don't know.
I think he would. If you said you could do a straight trade.
We should ask him. We'll ask him at 9:30.
Yeah.
Because I am fascinated. But there's at least 3 or 4 guys that I would talk about over Baker Mayfield.
I think Baker's a top 10 quarterback. The one I have the most beef with is actually Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff should be 6. I'm very solid on Goff at 6.
Goff is very good. I think Goff is. I would take.
I've never understood the Justin Herbert hype. It's just everyone. It's almost to me the same SEC bias that everyone just agrees. Justin Herbert is good. Justin Herbert is good. Justin Herbert has great stats, but what has he done? The only time I've seen him in an actual important and impactful game, they gave up a 34-point lead or whatever it was to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's hard to do.
Your man Trevor Lawrence is on this list. Would you rather have Trevor Lawrence or Baker Mayfield?
Baker. But Trevor's more talented. Trevor's a more talented quarterback. Sure. Baker's a better quarterback. Like there's a difference.
All right.
Right?
That's fair. Yeah.
Like if we're talking, if I'm in a draft, and I have both their college stats, everything, and I'm looking at their physical tools, and they both are the same age, everything else, you even everything else out. You go, okay, who am I taking first? You're taking Trevor Lawrence first. 100% of the time.
And that's why Baker's better than Trevor.
No, Baker's better than Trevor because he's a better football player. But if you're just going by actual production, Baker's better.
Yeah.
But if you're going by how we evaluate quarterbacks in terms of talent and things like that, Trevor Lawrence is a more talented quarterback than most of the guys on this list.
So Brock Purdy's a more talented quarterback than Baker Mayfield?
No, I think Baker's probably more talented. I think that he's also takes way more risks. Like Brock is really good at running his system. He's very good at doing what Kyle Shanahan asks him to do.
Well, no system asks you to throw interceptions. I understand that, or fumble the ball, that sort of stuff. But you don't think that that's part of Baker's system and part of the Tampa Bay offense?
Well, that's what I mean. He's a very high risk, high reward player.
He's got to push the ball downfield. That's the point.
But he also takes unnecessary risks. Like he is a guy that is going to take unnecessary risks. He always was going to. Like he's a version of Johnny Manziel that actually works. Like if Johnny Manziel actually did the work to be good at football and not just ran out there, they're very similar in very gunslingery. They're going to run around a little bit. They're going to try and figure it out. He's very good at football. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. I think
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I think we're forgetting that he had a great year last year.
Yeah.
But this dude was not even a full-time starter for a few years. He had a hard time.
That wasn't the fault of Baker Mayfield. I'll stand on that.
He had a hard time finding a job. Anybody in the league could have had him. Literally anybody in the league could have had him for the last 2 off seasons. He got cut in Carolina.
That wasn't his fault.
That's fine, but anybody could have had him.
That's fair.
Anybody could have had him. He goes to the Rams. After the Rams, again, anybody could have had this guy. Anybody in the league. Now he's had 2 good years with Tampa. But he also, he led the league in interceptions last year.
Okay, I can agree with you in the fact that he's not Peyton Manning, that as soon as Peyton Manning opens up, that everyone wanted to, clamor up and see what they could do. Not just that, but he's had an inconsistent career. He's had 2 very good years, which is more than I can say for Jayden Daniels. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But this is not a guy that you can just put your foot down and be like, oh, he's been great.
Now, you can't make the same argument this way, but if you were to say, who do you want to be your quarterback for the next 5 years, Jayden Daniels or Baker Mayfield, I too would pick Jayden Daniels.
Yes. Yeah. But I don't think he's the 5th best quarterback in the league today.
Yes.
That's a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that Baker Mayfield is the 10th best quarterback in the league today.
What if we did this list this way? You get 1 game. You're just picking 1 game, not a full season, not even a Super Bowl. We'll say a Monday Night Football game. It's your quarterback in prime time. You can rank these 10 quarterbacks. Where are you going?
Honestly, if I'm only taking 1 game, I'm definitely taking Rodgers over a lot of guys on the top 10.
Really?
For 1 game?
Wow.
I only have to deal with him for 1 week.
Well, I think Mahomes' value kind of drops there, right?
I would think so.
I would almost take Allen, Burrow, Lamar.
Absolutely not.
Mahomes.
Absolutely not. You know how terrifying Mahomes is in a 1-game scenario? Horrifying.
I guess he did do that a lot this past year, didn't he?
You are also...
But see, that in that value, in that argument, Jayden Daniels 5th makes sense to me.
You're also talking to someone who has watched him take away late Super Bowl leads just by the fact of being Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, did he do that to you a couple times?
I don't want to talk about it.
Do you trust Brock Purdy in that? Where's Brock Purdy rank in that one?
How are the Panthers?
What does this have to do?
I'm just saying, you're taking shots at me.
What shot was that? I asked you, where does Brock Purdy rank in this?
No, before that, you're like, oh, has he done that to you a couple times? It's rude. You'd like to make a Super Bowl.
I would put Cam Newton number 1 on this list right now.
You probably would.
I would take a Super Bowl.
Why don't you take Bryce Young?
I would take a playoff appearance. Bryce Young's going to be good this year.
Good luck. I hope so.
I hope so too. If they make the playoffs, it'll be